Welcome to Living Well with April and Shelley,
where we're raising kids, eating right, spending smart,
and living well. Today, do us a big favor and you a favor and click the subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up, and that way you're going to get more of these great videos. Everyone, this month is September is National Fall Prevention Awareness Month, and Shelley, I know I hear every once in a while of somebody that falls. We think of it in older age, but people can really fall at any age. Even little kids will fall, and as they get older, they're gonna fall. But we do see a really big increase in the number of falls nationwide as people start, getting older.
Yes, we do, April. And I have brought some statistics today to share. Would you like to hear some of these?
Let's hear those. Yes.
Okay, so 1 out of 5 falls in the United States causes a serious injury, such as broken bones or head injury. So that's kind of scary. 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah. Wow. And then another one, more than 95% of hip fractures are caused by falling. And we'll hear that a lot of times of somebody fractured their hip or something, and most likely it's because they fell. And then the last one I wanted to share, fall death rates in the United States increased 30% from 2007 to 2016 for older adults. And so if we don't educate ourselves on preventing falls and understanding, who is at risk and maybe some things that we're doing that can put us at risk, then that's just going to continue to increase, and we don't want that to happen.
That's true, and I can tell as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, I can tell that sometimes I feel like my balance is not what it used to be. I can remember being on a porch, not really high up, and just jumping off the porch to go walk or something, and now I'm looking at it like, can I jump off this porch? I don't know if I've got the right balance. So it's just a natural progression as we age, and just knowing some things that we can do to prevent that and make it easier or less likely to fall. The National or the Tennessee Commission on Aging and Disabilities is having a virtual series in September. I believe it's September the 9th through the 15th, and you might be able to find some information about that online. But also
the
19th through the 23rd, sorry. September 19th through the 23rd, they are going to have a virtual series on that. But if you're in one of the counties that UT Extension provides a program on fall prevention, which is called Matter of Balance. And Shelley, I just learned yesterday, I was happy or proud, I guess, of us at the UT Extension agents. 68 of the 95 counties have this fall prevention program. Wow. So if you don't know if you're in one of those counties, you might call your local UT Extension office and ask if they provide a Matter of Balance class. I know in DeKalb County we're getting ready to kick off the series. It's an 8-week class, meets once per week, and it's about 2 hours, up to 2 hours, no longer than that. And so we discuss things that you can do to prevent falls, and a lot of it's in people's minds, just the way they think about it.
Like the fear of falling.
The fear of falling, yes. And you can almost be so fearful that you're afraid to leave the house, and that's not a good thing either. But we're going to be starting those in October.
That's awesome.
And it's going to be on Tuesdays from 10 till 12. And if you live in DeKalb County, just be watching the media for that, watching social media and newspaper and the radio station, and we're going to be starting that soon. And I think you've got another class that's coming.
We do. Of course, we'll have one this fall in Wilson County, and we're finished. The fair was last month, and so we're still on the fair high. Is what we're doing, but we'll get that planned shortly, and it'll be this fall. And then we're both helping with one in Smith County starting at the end of September. And so you can always contact your local extension office, or you can go to the UT Extension website. And I think that Dr. Washburn actually posts some of our classes across the state. So I can drop that link down into the description as well for anybody that might be outside of our 3-county area, since we're helping Smith County this time.
And I know there are some counties that do the virtual class as well. So if you feel like, I know some people are still a little bit afraid to come out because of COVID and in other situations. If you're more comfortable being at home, there are some counties that will do a virtual online class as well. So
Lots of opportunities available.
But it's been a highly successful program across the state, and according to the statistics, it's very much needed.
Very needed, yes. And it's good, of course, it's good if you're an older adult, but it's really good for any adult. Like you said earlier, anybody can fall. I know my little kids fall all the time. They're still getting their coordination together. But I'm in my early 40s now, and which, my clients laugh at me and tell me that that's not older, but it's aging. It is aging.
We're always aging.
Everybody's aging. And so, going down steps, when I was pregnant, I was a little worried about escalators, like getting sucked in and falling down or something, which wouldn't happen, but I could fall. And I did fall when I was pregnant with both of my babies. And that's scary. So anybody that just wants to learn to eliminate that fear of falling and know what to do, what not to do, tell you what, wearing the right footwear is probably number one.
Number one, and I've been guilty of that, wearing shoes that are more comfortable, or that just a lot of the slip-on shoes and flip-flops and things like that. They're comfortable and fun to wear, but they're not the safest.
No, they're not. They need to have a back, and I'm guilty of it too. I really like some of my sandals, especially during the summer, early fall time, but probably really need to wear, a good tennis shoe type shoe most of the time with a good gripper on the bottom.
So, Shelley, one thing that we do in the Matter of Balance class, or actually this is probably half of it, we have a lot of discussions just about preventing falls and how we think about the fear of falling. But then half the class is dedicated to exercises, and a lot of these exercises help to improve people's balance, and that's the whole purpose of doing these exercises. So, we could even do a few today just to give people a little idea what the class is like.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I brought my paperwork here so I can remember what they're called. The first one that I'll do is the diagonal arm press across the body and toward the floor. And so this exercise improves the range of motion in the shoulders and the back, and it also may improve physical endurance. So I like to think about this one, maybe you're reaching down to pick something up, and that's important, so that we don't topple over. And if we do this, it will help us with our balance. And so what we do is we start with our arm and we press it to one side, and so we want to breathe the whole time that we're doing this, in through our nose and out through our mouth, and then we're just going to press to the floor. Kind of slow, but you can feel the stretch in your back, and we bring it back up and then bring it back down to your arm. Anytime we do one thing to one side, we want to be balanced out, right? So we got to do it to the other side. So we'll start on our other side, and so we'll bring our arm up to the front and over to one side and then down to the floor. Breathing the whole time. I tell my classes, I'm talking the whole time, so it's hard for me to practice the breathing correctly, but if you are breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth, that is important.
It's amazing that I really felt that.
It
It looks
feels good.
really simple, but it's a good stretch.
Yes, it feels so good. I've got another one, April, and then you might can do some of yours, but these are just my favorites.
Sure.
So the next one that I'm going to do is called Touch Elbow Stretch Front and Back. And this exercise helps your chest and your back flexibility and torso range of motion. It's very good for posture. So maybe you're not worried about fall prevention right now, but maybe you are sitting on your church pew or, at your desk at work and your back is feeling that it needs to be stretched out a little bit, you probably have bad posture. So we want to work on that too. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our fingertips on our shoulder, just like this, and we are going to raise our elbows to our shoulder level, okay? And then we're going to gently move our elbows together, and we're going to try to get a good stretch. May not be able to touch. I can touch. And then we're going to move them back out again. And that's all you do.
That's easy.
Isn't that easy?
But it's a good stretch too. I can really feel it.
Now, last time I taught Matter of Balance class, one lady, she could probably get her elbows about right here. By the end of 8 weeks, she was touching elbows.
Oh, that's
And
good.
so that really shows you, it is helping with that mobility.
Mhm.
If we continue, of course, the homework is let's practice these exercises at home, be safe, not on a rolling chair or anything. But by the end of the class, just 8 weeks, she was able to do that.
Mhm.
And I thought that was great progress.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I know the classes that I've had by the end of the 8 weeks, everybody says they've improved and they feel better, balance and range of motion and things. So I can demonstrate too that we'll be standing up. And one thing to note about the Matter of Balance class, if you decide to take the class, if you're not able to stand, you can do any of the exercises in the chair. That we've got modifications to those. So for the one I'm going to demonstrate, it's a standing up, march in place. So if you can't stand up, you can just march in place at your chair, just sitting in your chair. But I'll demonstrate this one standing up, and you go behind your chair. And we encourage people to use the chairs a lot, just for the balance, especially if they feel like they need it. And we're just going to march in place, lifting our legs up as high as we can comfortably. And this is going to help with your range of motion in your hips and your legs, and it's going to make your legs stronger. Okay.
Feels good on your back too.
It does. And it looks easy, but after about a minute, you start feeling like, you're really exercising.
Feel the burn.
Right. Okay, good. And then another one, I think this one's fun to do because it just reminds me of the hula hoop. And it's called the hip circles, and you're just going to stand, and your arms or your hands on your waist, and you're just going to start going around in a circle, bending at your hip.
And that is a good stretch, right?
Yeah, I can feel that all over, like my back and my sides. And then let's reverse it, go the other direction.
Oh, that feels great.
It does. Okay, good. And so that's another exercise that's great for balance. So
Those are some fun exercises. There's several more in the class that we do, of course.
yeah.
That's just a little teaser.
Yeah, so we're going to put the dates for those classes down below. And as I said, there are other classes across the state of Tennessee. If you're not in our view, if you're outside our viewing area, I think we might be able to find a list of classes and post that too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just not sure, call your local University of Tennessee Extension office and ask if they're going to be offering Matter of Balance anytime soon, and you can sign up for that.
That's awesome. And of course, if you can't make it to a class, you can't make it to a virtual class, the Extension office is here for resources, so we could always send you some information on preventing falls as well.
Yeah.
Especially in September, we want to make sure everybody's aware
Yes.
of fall prevention.
And I will be having a class. It's actually starting this month in September. It's a related class. It's called Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, and it helps with balance as well, but it's more with really light weights. And so people are just gaining more strength in their bodies, but it's also really good for balance as well. But that's going to be getting underway, what's already underway this month in September.
Mm-hmm.
But
And we have that class too at the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Leslie Watkins, our
Yes.
agent for SNAP Education, is teaching that. So
I love that class. It's very popular here, so yeah.
it's exciting.
Well, I guess until next time, Shelley.
We're raising kids, eating right, spending smart, and living well.